Hi, guys. I'm so excited. My name is Mdia Chinetsa, and welcome to an Unplugged podcast. You guys need to understand this is not any normal podcast, okay? This is behind the scenes. You're going to be with me in the streets. You might even end up in an episode, okay? Can't wait for you guys to see what we've got lined up. This has been in the making for a while, and I'm glad that it's here now. This is our first episode. And we've got a special guest here today. So yeah, you're going to see him. He's going to cut. He's going to do, the editors are going to do that cool thing where they go, shit. And then you're going to see who our guest is. I've come with Muridzi, we're Unplugged, our director, Murungu Wedu, the person who signs off my checks. And today, that special guest is the one, the only, who could say Majoni. How are you?
I'm good, Ndio. How are you?
I'm wonderful, boss. It's so great having you.
I think you're too excited for this. You're too excited.
I think it's because I have free reign to ask you the questions that I'm like, you know what? I can't ask him this there, but now I can because it's for the people. Unplugged is for the people, right?
Fire away, Ndio. I'm starting to regret this, but...
Regret is for later. Let's go. How do you end up owning Unplugged?
Kayu Kagwaga.
I'm saying, did you bid for it on Facebook Marketplace? Was it on eBay? Did they ship it to you? Because
it's a very long answer, but I will try to keep it. It's very much everything by God's design. I was an Unplugged admirer for a very long time. You know,
we saw the old Twitter posts.
Yeah, like I was a big fan of Unplugged.
Yeah.
And then at some point I started knowing the people behind Unplugged, and I would never shy away from sharing my admiration. Hey guys, whenever I would see them.
Yeah.
Fangirling. And then at some point, you know, I became King Kandoro, and then we would meet in all these different places. About a year ago, I happened to be in the same place with this one. I'm like, yo guys, what's happening with Unplugged? And they happened to whisper, we are actually in the process of selling it. Big shout out to Elena and Chiedza. They had grown this thing to become, you know, an incredible property that did wonderful things for many people. And they got to a point where they were like, you know, I think it's time to pass the baton. So that's how it started. On the other hand, everybody who knows me knows I've been a big fan of music.
Okay, I didn't know that actually.
I'm like obsessed. If I had been given an option, do you want to be funny or do you want to do what Takunda Kurinyepa does without I'm jealous of people who can sing. People who
you can't sing?
So
no special performance from you? No?
This is probably the first and last Unplugged related appearance that you guys will ever see. I mean...
But for the way...
So I had always been obsessed with that. Last year, it kept bothering me that no one was doing something to honor Killer T's 10 years of Ngoma Ndaimba. Mm-hmm. And then I realized 2016 was going to be 10 years of Ja Praises, Mdara Chauya. And I kept thinking, like, I wish somebody would, you know, do something to commemorate these 10 years because they're big. And I started thinking, okay, what if Unplugged was to do something like that? And that's when I was like, yo, well, you guys, that's how this conversation, and I think, yeah. So to cut a long story short, God's grace and just being an incredible fan of this thing and having a wife who trusted Kuti, there might be something here.
He wants to buy this. Let's let him buy it. Okay, so just for clarification, for everyone to understand, when did you take over Unplugged?
Last year in September.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first Unplugged was the Liquid Deep Unplugged.
The first Unplugged was the Liquid Deep Unplugged, and then we did the Amifaku Unplugged.
Yes.
So this one will be the third edition under new management.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as new management, how has it been now getting into the space? Because obviously you know how to do your shows. You're an amazing comedian. You know that space. But now this is the music world. You can be a fan of music, but you may not know how to curate. Absolutely. So how has that been?
Absolutely. I think a lot of learning, a lot of realizing that these things are easier as a critic muchishedzera patwitter ndezvekushaya dai vadai, you know,
should have done this.
they should have done this. Why didn't they do? It's you know, big shout out to people that have been doing this for. First of all, big shout out to Elena and Chiedza, who did this for 13 years.
Yeah,
put up all the unplugs that we came to and loved. Big shout out to Walter, who's doing amazing things in Ngomandeo Show. Big shout out to Chug. Big shout out to all the guys who are doing, you know, Fiesta,
all the fests,
you know,
all
AMA
of them.
2K,
Yeah.
Pet Event Global. You get involved and you realize how much work goes into this thing. But I've been fortunate enough that through comedy, I was able to meet different people who do these things. So when Unplugged came to be, it was a matter of putting these people and trusting them to do the, you know, because I very much do not know much to do with these things. So with Unplugged, as you know, so many people who work behind the scenes to put it together into the final product that it is. Can't sit here and take credit for much of it, really.
All the parts of the machine work together.
Yeah.
It is obviously like a trial and error thing.
Yeah.
You know, as you're saying, like, you know, you need help from all different sides.
Yeah.
Have people come up to you and given you honest, respectful critique, like, wang panapa chimbo, change this, do this, and how do you take it?
I think maybe after this, because I don't think many people knew. Like it was like people who knew. So it wasn't like maybe after this, there's gonna be like, right, Kanduru, you know.
By the way.
But I think prior to this, it wasn't like, I can't say, it was like the people that knew where, you know, industry people, people who might have come across this information, artists. But yeah, there has been a lot of constructive criticism, like, oh, you guys should improve this, because obviously when you're entering a new space, you get in there with so much excitement and you think, oh, let me try this, and you realize that it's not so much that this is the first time this thought has been, but it has been tried and they've seen that it doesn't work. So trial and error, adjusting the things, but we've been very proud of the additions that we have put up so far, especially from the side of supporting and championing local artists. Yeah. Making sure that they occupy that stage more than, I think in the last 2 editions, we've only had one international act. In August, we're going to have a completely
Zimbabwe lineup.
You know, 100%, you know, just the way Jonathan Moy would have liked it, you know. So very excited to see how that turns out. Very excited to see how people come out and support that and try to witness that. But yeah.
I have 2 questions
that
just came to mind with that answer.
Yeah.
Number 1, because this lineup, this edition for this one on the 29th of August, get your tickets now. Because of this, most people, you know, would immediately put international acts because that brings in a lot of people.
Yeah.
We like to have new people coming in. It's like shiny new things. We like it. I like things. Everybody likes things.
Yeah.
So how do you think, are you scared about the fact that it's completely a Zimbabwean lineup?
Yeah.
And people may not be like, oh, we can always go watch them. What is it for you that you're like, you know what, it's a Zim lineup and this is why you need to come for this?
I think it's about time, right? It's about time our music got to the space where we are championing and putting our money where our mouth is. I think the conversation that is dominating is, we don't really have international acts. But the question is, how do these guys get to be international acts when we're not recognizing them like that?
Yeah.
When we're not giving them, why does a lineup look lesser when we don't have that? Yeah. So it's not something that we are starting. It's not something that we can take credit like I think this past weekend, the Heat Factory proved that an all local lineup can pull out numbers. Yeah. You know, but if you've been paying attention to what we've been doing in the past 2 editions, you would have seen that at some point they're going to try that. Yeah. Right. And if you also notice the past 2 editions, the artists that people have enjoyed at those editions is our own homegrown stars. Yeah. You know, so the question then begs, okay, why
can't we just have a completely
and
homegrown
that's not
lineup?
to say that Unplugged is not going to have international acts, but
Okay.
it's like let's see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Let's have proven examples.
People know you as King Kandora, the comedian.
Mm.
Now, how do you separate that side with the Unplugged side too? Because like you said, this is like the first time that people are actually going to see you on the Unplugged
Yeah.
page. You're always reposting, you're always doing these things, but this is the first time they're going to be like, cool, we didn't know. Now people will be like, because it's his. Do you want that to happen, or do you want it to be two separate things?
I think that's a very good question, even though I wrote it. I think that's a very good question. So part of coming out, couple of reasons. Throughout my career, my comedy career, I've always been somebody who shared all my milestones with the people.
Yeah.
Like when I first moved out, when I got my first iPhone, when I bought my first car, right up when I got married, I always shared those milestones with the people that supported me.
Yeah.
It felt like a journey. And then I think at some point I got a little in my head and said, I'll keep this to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm being honest, I'm only in the position where I can unplug because of the people that support me. Denying them the opportunity to share and celebrate that with me started feeling a little insidious.
Yeah.
Because the crazy thing is, from time to time, like I would repost, and Unplugged something. And lately I've been reposting very frequently. I'm like, I think a few days ago, somebody even tagged me and said, I have a feeling King Kandora is running. And I was like, so it's all those things where it starts to feel like, but why are we not? Because there's nothing sinister about it. It starts to feel like a lie.
It's not like a little sneaky thing.
It's not like it's not like a little sneaky thing where, so it's like, this is our thing. I want the people that have celebrated with me when I had my first child. This is our thing. This is our win, and also, if you've been part of that journey, me being involved in music, it doesn't really come as a surprise.
Yeah.
Be it on Black and Forth, be it I've been a big fan of music. I've shown good internet. We at some point we had Madorofia FM during lockdown, which was its own thing. So this might come as a surprise, but it doesn't really come as a surprise. It feels like it's just another extension of Kandoro, which hadn't been explored.
Okay.
The main thing for me is still very much comedy.
Yeah.
Very much.
So that's not taking the...
No. That's the reason why we have a whole team as well for Unplugged. That, in as much as I'm involved, even the person that was saying, I feel like Kandoro is running the page. Like there's people that run that page.
And it's not you.
It's not me. Maybe there's certain things that might come out, the sense of humor or the choice of the song, but it's not me, but it's a reflection of, there's certain things that people recognize within me because Kandoro is our guy.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate. So this announcement is coming from that place of, once I got over that imposter syndrome, realizing I was denying a lot of people that support me an opportunity to also support this, to say, yo, that's our guy.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, we've supported him from my very first show at Reps Theatre, went to Seven Arts, went to Celebration, did Celebration again, now doing world tours. I was now genuinely getting people who be like, Kandore, why are you not,
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really a secret. Like, if you wanted to have the information, you would have it. So the way people were asking me now felt like I was trying to be insidious with it. I was trying to hide it.
It's not sneaky.
I was trying to be sneaky. So I was like, you know what? Let's dispel.
Let's just
there's no,
get it out there. No more rumors. No more tags. Yeah.
Atmosphere is serious, because some of them was so it's like, there's no, but yeah.
Sorry, I just thought of something. What is the first thing you did once you were like, I now own Unplugged?
I called my wife immediately, because I called her to pitch here, we could do this. What do you think? And fortunately, my wife is the business case made sense. I'd really worked out a PowerPoint presentation. And it could be something.
Please, my just think about it. We can, yeah. Sentimental value.
Opportunity to meet. And so once that thing was signed, immediately I was like, yo,
is this for real?
That's crazy.
That's insane.
So, yeah.
Okay, so just very simple answer, very quickly. Would you rather King Kandoro is known as the comedy side than Mukute Majoni is known as the Unplugged side?
Yeah, I think that's how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we got that answer clear. Now, what is the next step for Unplugged? Obviously, you took over, from people who had run it for a long time and they were doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
Were there parts of it where you were like, I need to remove this, I need to level it up, or I need to leave this alone and keep this original Unplugged feeling? What was kept and what was thrown out?
I think I can't say this enough. The work that Elena and Chiada did is incredible. There's not much that you can take away from it. The challenge really is to build off that.
Yeah.
To use that very strong foundation to say, okay, how do I carry on this baton in a way that doesn't mess up the good faith and the goodwill that was built over 13 years? These are people that gave us something that didn't have that many blemishes. It's something that you have to take care, and you have, part of that conversation of even owning is you kind of have to share with them.
Yeah.
What is your vision? And my vision was to build off this blanket and wine vibe. I think what has happened in Zimbabwe, fortunately, is over the past few years, there's been so many event properties that have come up that cater for Zim hip hop, that cater for Zim dancehall, that cater for DJs, that cater for Afrotech, incredible event properties. I think within those definitions, it's very important for event properties to be well defined, to know that, Unplugged has this vibe. Because I think that is the only way that we can coexist safely. Every day, every weekend, there's something happening.
Yeah.
But if we are trying to be similar in what we are offering, nobody wins. I would like a future where Unplugged is defined in its vibe. If we say we are a blanket and wine R&B vibe that cater for love, I'll always err on that side. That means we can coexist in a weekend where Carpe Diem is happening on the next day, because there's going to be a DJ vibe. That means we can coexist on the weekend where Ama 2K is there, because we are going to be catering for different. Somebody can say, I'll go to Unplugged and go to Ama 2K and go to, because they're offering different
There's a little
things.
bit of everything everywhere.
But if the Unplugged lineup looks like the Carpe Diem lineup, quite a few things are going to change.
Okay.
Our stage is going to look different.
Okay.
Our food village is going to look different.
Okay.
Our VIP section is going to look different. Quite a few things that we're excited about.
Yeah.
Because we want to define, we want to build off that blankets and wine. Somebody goes to Unplugged and says, okay.
Per blanket and wine apple. You said, Unplugged is a blanket and wine concert. And did you love? Is there a personal reason behind that? Is there?
It's, at this point, it's not even a secret, right? So, so maybe we skim past it at the beginning.
What does it mean personally to you?
Unplugged means a lot of different things for me. Initially, I actually thought Unplugged mattered to me because that's where I met my wife.
Yeah.
2017 December. That's where I met my Maita.
Shout out my Maita.
Shout out to my Maita and my
Yeah.
so that's what. So I always felt like that was, but then I did a quick audit and realized that some of my most meaningful friendships as an adult actually started at Unplugged.
Oh wow.
Like some of my best guy friends, some of even business relationships were being created and fostered and Unplugged. Unplugged was the thing, that would look forward to, that would save money for, so that aspirational aspect of it that we feel like we didn't know it then, but Unplugged tiri vakoma taigeza kuti uenda Unplugged, uenda pachaji office unotenga Air Force, taichenera kuenda Unplugged.
Yeah.
Because it was a thing, it was an event, it was a moment.
And she saw you and yours and she said, Papa.
She denies that she say my wife says she was being polite. It holds so much sentimental value.
Yeah.
It gave me a wife. But beyond that, it gave me a lot of friendships. And that has kind of like moved my thinking. If I can then, replicate that atmosphere, complement that atmosphere, people can bring and foster relationships, meet friends, I think we would have done a half decent job.
I think so too. What is the approach that you have when it comes to certain artists going on stage? Because you have mentioned, there's this vibe for these, this vibe for this. What if someone is like, oh, you do R&B, I do R&B.
Yeah.
I want to be on stage. What does it take for them to be on stage? What's the deciding factor for you to be like, this is my lineup and this is why I've curated it this way?
Do these people sing? Are they great live performers?
Okay.
That's the starting position. And then, this crew of people, starts off with suggestions. Oh, how about this? How about who? But over and above that, just trying to pick, we've introduced certain initiatives like, the Next Superstar initiative where we are actively participating in the building, in the, in the growing of the next superstars within that, within that genre where you're saying, how about a Takunda Kurinyepa who would otherwise, be a dope artist? How do we put him in the same space with other incredible artists?
Yeah.
What might happen there? What kind of thoughts, ideas, but also how do we throw him on the deep end? At that stage of his career, give him 15 minutes in front of a few hundred people, a few thousand people in the afternoon. Let's see what he can do. And then you see those guys grab an opportunity like that and turn it into, it's amazing. So the idea is, how do we then make this a thing that is consistent, that Unplugged is known for, and how do we also foster a culture where other concerts are becoming a springboard for because we cannot claim to be doing much for these artists. They're already great.
Yeah.
We just have the audience that is ready and willing to hear these people do their thing.
Okay. I like that. And I know everybody had said that, no kids at Unplugged anymore. Was that from you? Was that from you?
It actually wasn't for me, because the kids thing was for me. I was thinking as a young parent, like, yo, I would love an option where I can bring my, but then the thing that we quickly realized was that I think the event space in Zimbabwe has progressed so much that there is events specific for kids.
Yeah.
And people don't want the responsibility of, because the thing that was happening now is I can't tell my kid that they can't go to Unplugged if Unplugged keeps saying kids are allowed. They also, because they're seeing the jumping castle and whatnot.
Like, so who's supposed to go on that? The adults?
So we did it for 2 editions, and then we realized, like, okay, it's not adding value to the greater audience, And then you also have situations where, from a safety, standpoint, and safekeeping yevana, you know, the issue you don't want to be mixing with, you know, adults are drinking, you know, there is a smoking zone, yes, you know, but you don't want kids to be susceptible to those, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do we, until we figure out a way to really keep these things separate.
For now,
no
kids.
For now, no kids.
So now you see who to blame. Him. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's just a joke.
I thought I had explained well.
No, you explained it so.
I gave my best PR answer.
So now let me give you a few more questions.
Yeah.
I just want to know personally.
Yeah.
With the way Unplugged is going, how do you want people to view it?
How do I want people to view it?
Yeah. You have your personal feelings towards Unplugged.
Yeah.
You see the vision.
Yeah.
How are you now going to relate that to people? How do you translate that vision to people who are just now thinking of it as this is a concert?
One of the things that we wanted to make sure and make clear is how Unplugged communicates. So this is where you know, get in the picture.
I'm a communicator.
We were like, you know, let's get somebody who can help us communicate our thoughts and ideas. Let's put people in place that can worry about certain things. So how do I want people to view Unplugged? I want people to think of it as an incredible experience. You know, 8 hours, one Saturday in a quarter where it feels like a simple time. It feels like whatever is going on in your life, you just go and you are reconnecting with great live music. You're reconnecting with people that you haven't seen in a while. And it's a simple time. That's how I want. It's a simple time. There's jumping castle for adults. There's incredible food. And you just feel like, wow, this was an experience.
Yeah. And some people, you know, I won't lie. The last 2 Unplugged, I was like, okay, why can't this happen each and every 2 weeks or monthly? Why is it every quarter? Why can't it be, let's do one every month?
I think it's too expensive a production.
Okay, fair.
It's too
Fair
expensive
enough.
a production to do that consistently and maintain the same standard. We're still fine-tuning certain things and we're still taking criticism on board. I think at the last edition, one of the things that we dropped the ball on was the toilet situation.
Yeah.
You know, we instantly got feedback on that. Like, guys, I think
let's sort
this out. The toilet situation wasn't, you know, and we could have come out and explained like, no, that was us. That was us because we picked the service provider. It's us. And that is one of the few things that I can guarantee that I very much want people to come on this next edition. First thing first, go to the toilets. You know,
go and see.
Go, before you do anything.
Before you go anywhere, get your tag, go to the toilets.
Go check your toilets.
You've been told.
and participate because we really took that on board and be like, okay, we have to fix this because it's part of the experience, you know. We wouldn't be able to do that successfully if we were doing that monthly. You know, we still want to make sure that we're giving people an incredible lineup. We still want to make sure that, you know, the vendors that are coming on board are doing, you know, on this upcoming edition and probably future ones, we are going to be working with Events Evolution. And if you know Events Evolution, then you know what their standard of excellence is in terms of be it stage production. Those are the guys that do stage production for the Celestial Chorus, for the Namas, so that is how ambitious we are.
Yeah.
And we are doing that for a 100% local lineup. You know, we are not waiting for an international act to give them the biggest stage we're doing it for our own stars, because the idea is if you see our own stars looking that fly on it, that is how we start seeing certain things.
Yeah.
You know, so we just want to play our little part in that whole on that whole ecosystem.
Do you have a pinnacle in mind where you're like, once Unplugged reaches this and Dabo, there's nothing that I can top here?
I don't know, man. We're a pretty ambitious bunch. We're a pretty ambitious bunch, but we're going to pace ourselves. Okay. We're going to pace. So we are very, very ambitious in the things that we want to achieve. But we see, what people will be talking about out there. We know what, the standards that need to be reached.
Yeah.
We see what the good people at Afro Nation are doing.
Yeah.
Even across the pond, you see what the good people will be. It's, once upon a time in Joburg, the luxurious marble circus. You see what goes into those events, the level of production, and it's like, okay, we know what we have to do. It's going to take time, but all we need is people to just trust us and give us that opportunity to say, come and check us out on the 29th of August. See what we're trying to do. And if you like it, come back again in December.
Is there any last words you have? Because the people aren't going to see you here for a while.
If I have it my way, they'll never see me again. If I have it my way, they'll never see me again. I think the idea behind this was really a way to say thank you to the people that have, I suspect Kanduro is behind this. You were not wrong. You were wrong, but you were not wrong. But I'm very grateful, for this opportunity to be given, to be trusted, by Elena and Chiedza to lead the wonderful people that are behind the scenes. I think we're going to make sure that, some of these people, get their time in the sun, because there really is a lot of incredible people that make this happen. It's one thing to have an idea of what you want something to look like, but it's another to have people that go on and implement. People know I don't live in, if I was, it wouldn't survive. There's people that are really going above
on the ground and doing everything,
doing amazing things. So last words, please come check us out on the 29th of August. It's going to be an incredible time. Get your tickets. Unpluggedzim.com. Med Orange Pharmacies.
Thank you for coming. If you guys are nice to him in the comments, maybe he'll come back, but I doubt it.
What are we coming back to do? But yeah, man.
I'm just going to take a 30-minute comedy show Unplugged on the stage. Just little.
That would be the quickest way for Unplugged to die. That would be the quickest way, because people just said, if you wanted to see this guy,
we would have just gone to, yeah.
So yeah, man. Thank you to everybody that has, been a fan of Unplugged. Hopefully you guys, join us on this second,
This is our third edition. Third edition under new management. Or second.
I was second dispensation, but maybe I but I think.
Guys, that was Mukutse Majoni. He came onto an Unplugged podcast and said, look at me. I'm the captain now. This is our captain. Everybody say, thank you, Captain.
Thank you for having me, Mdiwa.
Thank you for coming through, even though I don't think you had a choice, and neither did I. Guys, it's been me, Mdiwa Chanetsa. This was such an amazing episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because I had the time of my life. I don't think a lot of people get the chance to interrogate their boss. So, hey, this was great for me. But we definitely have more coming. And don't think I'm just going to be in the studio talking to you. No. I'm going to give you the behind the scenes. I'm taking you with me. What I go through, we'll go through together. But you need to make sure that you're subscribed to the Unplugged YouTube channel. And you also need to be following us on social media. But get your tickets now. They are available at Mid Orange Pharmacies, and you can also get them via www.unpluggedzim.com. Make sure you get your tickets now. We will not be available on the 29th to give you more tickets, because we might not have the capacity for any more. 3,500. That's our capacity.